Legends seldom record the screams of the unworthy, yet chapter 919992 of Recap, Marshal God Asura refuses to spare us such truths. Chu Feng stands at the threshold of the heavenly road, where the air churns with the stench of blood and the remnants of those who faltered before him. The crowd behind him quivers, their courage a fragile veneer against the illusions that writhe and howl like living nightmares. Every step forward is a gamble with death itself. Every heartbeat echoes with the cries of the fallen from the Eastern Sea region. Chu Feng alone strides through the blood-red haze, unflinching, as the line between reality and illusion twists into a macabre dance of survival. Who will endure, and who will be claimed by the hungry ghosts that linger and wait? The answer lies beyond the red mist. The moment was pierced by an eerie stillness, as if the heavens themselves were holding their breath. Chu Feng's brow furrowed slightly, a shadow of concern passing over his otherwise calm demeanor. Around him, a tide of unease rippled through the crowd of cultivators trailing behind him. Though they were no ordinary disciples, even their hearts quivered in anticipation. Sensing the dreadful presence that lurked ahead, fear had begun to plant its first seeds among them, even before the monsters revealed themselves. Memories of the burning heaven church and Tan Tai Shui's warning flickered through Chu Feng's mind, words that spoke of the perilous truths lying beyond mere bravery. Indeed, this heavenly road was no trivial path to tread. He could already feel the weight of fate pressing upon the shoulders of his followers. Many among them would not survive the trials that awaited. "Fear not," Chu Feng's voice rang out, steady and commanding, cutting through the trembling murmurs. "No matter the horrors before you, they are but illusions. Stick close to me, and none shall harm you." A hesitant chorus responded, their voices layered with uncertainty beneath a veneer of determination. "Yes! Follow me," Chu Feng commanded, stepping into the air, soaring towards the source of the sinister sounds. One by one, the others lifted themselves, propelled by courage tinged with doubt, following their leader into the unknown. The air thickened as they approached deeper into the heavenly road. A peculiar, spine-chilling chorus of sounds grew louder, more urgent. Soon, before them, a vast expanse of blood-red mist unfurled like a living ocean, stretching beyond sight. It roiled and surged, sealing the path ahead, and within it, the source of the monstrous wails waited. The crimson fog rushed towards them with terrifying swiftness, emanating an aura that seemed almost sentient, hungry, malevolent, as if it had scented a feast and would not relent until it had devoured every soul in its path. Panic began to tighten its grip on the hearts of the weaker among Chu Feng's followers. And then, the truth of the horror became clear. Limbs, torn and dismembered, heads severed and rolling, shattered bodies, organs cruelly ripped free, all swirled within the crimson tide. They writhed and squealed, releasing a terrifying aura that clawed at the mind and spirit. The air itself seemed to choke with the suffocating weight of despair. Chu Feng's gaze swept over the tide, unwavering. "Listen carefully," he called out, voice resolute. "These are no ordinary illusions. They will seek to corrupt your mind, to make you falter. Stand firm, follow me, and do not retreat." With the power of his heaven's eyes, he discerned the truth behind the terrifying spectacle. Though monstrous and aggressive, these were not true enemies. They were phantom horrors, born to terrify, but they held no power over him. His path was clear. Without hesitation, Chu Feng surged forward, piercing the crimson veil. Those following him gasped in shock, perceiving only a suicidal leap into a pit of fire. Yet most, recalling his words, tightened their resolve and pressed onward, though fear gnawed at their hearts. A few, unable to bear the oppressive aura, faltered and turned, fleeing in desperate retreat. Chu Feng anticipated such weakness. He spoke no word, offered no judgment. Their fate was theirs alone. "Wow!" As he dove into the crimson mist, a chorus of piercing shrieks erupted from all directions. The scent of decay struck at his senses, thick and fetid, mingling with the abhorrent sensation of broken limbs brushing against his body. It was a macabre sea of blood and ruin, a nightmarish path paved with rotting flesh and dismembered bones. Each step forward was a test of courage, each heartbeat a defiance of the revulsion around him. Countless spectral figures lurked within, waiting for a single misstep. They hungered to claim new souls, to drag the unwary into their eternal torment. Yet to Chu Feng, Their terror held no sway. His vision, sharpened by the heaven's eyes, cut through the chaos, rendering even the most grotesque illusions powerless against him. He moved as if flying through clear skies, unshaken and resolute. The same could not be said of all his followers. Many, clinging to false courage, soon succumbed to panic. Even as they pressed forward, the relentless onslaught of corpses and specters claimed them. The attacks were merciless, indefensible, and the screams of the fallen filled the air. One by one, the brave were struck down, and the ripple of fear infected those still standing, weakening their resolve and leaving them vulnerable to the relentless apparitions. "Lord Chu Feng," a trembling voice cried out amid the chaos. "You said these were illusions. Why are they killing us?" But there was no answer, for death swept through the ranks like a silent storm. The cries of agony and despair filled the path behind Chu Feng. Yet he did not falter. His focus remained unbroken, and he pressed ever forward, finally emerging from the crimson tide. When Chu Feng dared to glance back, the only remnants were the receding crimson mist, carrying with it the last echoes of its monstrous wails. The hundreds who had followed him were gone, as if they had never existed, consumed by the trials of the heavenly road. A sigh escaped him, heavy with both relief and sorrow. Countless lives, all from the eastern sea region, had been lost here. He had wished to bring them safely to the holy land of martialism, yet their hearts lacked the fortitude required. Even this first stage had proven too great a trial. Their journey had ended before it truly began. "That cannot be blamed on them," Eggy's voice chimed lightly, her tone almost playful amid the grim aftermath. A delicate giggle followed, carrying her usual sweetness, yet beneath it lay no trace of pity for the fallen. If the heavenly road were truly easy, would so many truly be left behind? Only the unworthy perish on such a path. The air shimmered with a tense, silent anticipation, as if the heavens themselves were holding their breath. Not all was as it seemed on the heavenly road. Some illusions shimmered before the eyes of travelers, yet these were no mere phantoms. Only a select few could peer through their deceptive veil. Chu Feng felt them, acknowledged their presence, yet he did not falter. He pressed forward, step by determined step, leaving hesitation behind like a distant shadow. The journey had grown lonely. The throngs that once followed had dispersed, and with their absence, a weight lifted from his shoulders. The road stretched endlessly, and though the beauty of starry lights had once adorned his path, the azure orbs now dwindled, fading one by one into nothingness. Darkness reclaimed the heavenly road, swallowing its brilliance. For ordinary souls, this would be disorienting, terrifying even. But Chu Feng's eyes, blessed with the clarity of the heaven's eye, pierced the gloom. He could see the path, yet his gaze roamed beyond mere direction. His purpose was not merely to reach the holy land of martialism, it was to uncover the origins of his very being. Far away, the eastern sea region witnessed a different scene. The entrance to the heavenly road had sealed, leaving only the vast, restless waters in its wake. Ziling, Suru, Sumei, Zhang Tianyi, and Zhang Wushang lingered, hearts heavy with both sorrow and yearning. The crowd that had gathered, voices once loud, laughter echoing across the waves, had thinned. Many led away by Chu Feng of the crippling night demon sect. Slowly, the chaotic clamor gave way to the roaring wind and the relentless surge of the sea, a grim reminder of the power that lay beyond human reach. Only a handful remained in the sky above: the distinguished Chu Fuyan, the graceful Huangfu Haowei, the ethereal Lady Piao Miao, the venerable Taiko, and the dignitaries of ancient lineages, the Azure Dragon founder, the ancestor of the Zhang dynasty, and the venerable members of the Chu family. In that heavy air, their eyes met Ziling and the others, unwilling to divert their gaze. A pang of empathy stirred. They understood. These young souls had forged a deep bond with Chu Feng, and the dangers he faced were far beyond the ordinary. Yet beneath their concern lay a deeper truth. They were trapped, barred from joining him on this perilous path. "Ziling, it's time to return," Chu Fuyan's voice broke through, gentle yet commanding. Hesitation lingered in her eyes. Sister Fuyan, forgive us for keeping you waiting," Ziling replied, forcing a smile that could not fully mask her heartache. The others mirrored her expression, their smiles fragile shields against the storm of emotion within. Witnessing this, even the seasoned cultivators could feel the ache of unspoken longing and worry. Fear not. With Chu Feng's talents, the heavenly road will bend before him. I believe he will leave a mark even in the holy land of martialism, Fu Yan offered, her voice warm but tinged with longing. Ziling's gaze softened, a bittersweet memory crossing her mind. When I first met him, he was weaker than I could imagine. Honestly, I did not even consider him worthy of notice. Yet, despite that, he bested me. At that moment, I glimpsed the depth of his power. Even torn away by my parents back to the Eastern Sea region, I knew he would return for me, and he did. I still trust him. But her voice faltered, choked with unspoken fear. A calm, aged voice cut through the melancholy. But your heart still worries for him, does it not? It was the blind old man, appearing silently behind them. His eyes were closed, yet the awareness in his presence could pierce the soul. His cultivation might not be grand, but the aura he exuded carried the weight of unspoken mastery. Senior? Shock rippled through Ziling and the others. The man's reputation preceded him. He was no ordinary cultivator. Little lady, do not weep. Perhaps I can offer guidance. The blind master spoke gently, eyes widened with hope. Your aptitudes are considerable, he continued, his voice calm yet firm. But if you wish to reach Chu Feng's level with your current strength, it is impossible. Even those blessed with a divine body would fall short. If you persist along your current path, you will be a burden to him rather than his equal. He may aid you, but you cannot repay him in kind. His words carried a subtle, unyielding wisdom. Understanding dawned upon Ziling and her companions. This was no mere teacher. It was a trial, a gateway. With mutual glances, they recognized the gravity of the moment. Together, they half kneel, respect flowing from every movement. I, Ziling, I, Su Ro, I, Su Mei, I, Zhang Wushang, I, Zhang Qianyi, am willing to become your disciple. The blind old man chuckled, his white beard quivering. Good, your understanding is keen. If you become my disciples, I will teach you. But heed this, the road to mastery is not easy. Senior, we are prepared for any trial, they answered in unison, hearts ablaze with determination. Opportunities like this were rare, and none would be squandered. The old man's smile widened, mysterious and enigmatic. Do not speak so soon. My trials are not for the faint of heart. Far above, Chu Feng remained oblivious to these developments. Days had passed as he wandered through the endless expanse of the heavenly road. Time and perseverance, however, favored the diligent. Slowly, he reached the edge of this mystical realm, a place that defied description. It was solid yet ethereal, rigid yet strangely fluid. Some might call it a formation, though it lacked all the hallmarks of conventional constructs. Indestructible, unyielding, and alien. Yet even this marvel was not the ultimate revelation. As he traced the edge, Chu Feng discovered a cavernous tunnel. Its mouth yawned wide, disappearing into unknown depths. Intuition whispered that this path led not to the holy land of martialism, but somewhere else entirely. Driven by curiosity, he entered. The deeper he ventured, the more the air thickened with danger. On either side rose structures imbued with a threatening aura. And at last, before him, a grand door loomed. It exuded an authority that recalled the imperial doors of the 9 provinces' imperial tombs, yet it carried a mark of singular distinction. Its origin was clear. This was no relic of nature, but the deliberate work of a skilled hand. Chu Feng approached, heart steady, sensing that whatever lay beyond would challenge both body and soul. The heavenly road held many secrets, and Chu Feng was determined to unveil them all, one step at a time.